Dr. Lewis, in your experience, what are smart drugs and how do they differ from traditional brain supplements? And what benefits at all do they offer?
This might be a bit of an area where perhaps the marketing is a bit ahead of the science. So I always go back to one of my professors in grad school who told me just to, always acknowledge when you're talking about physiology and nutrition that sometimes the marketing gets a bit ahead of the science. So smart drugs, I think, are attempting to go down the line of personalized nutrition or personalized medicine. And I think that's wonderful. My problem with it at the moment, though, is that you're talking about we have 8 billion or so people on the planet today. And to be able to get something that's so personalized just to you or me or to, your family member or whomever is a bit of a leap at this point, just because, we have, of course, the Genome Project. I mean, there are lots of big studies going on looking at our genes, our DNA, all the different omics sciences, all these different things are trying to come together to create, like you said, smart drugs or personalized medicine or personalized nutrition. And again, I'm just not there yet. I think we have too much more information to uncover to be able to really make that kind of recommendation. Because when you think about how these recommendations are being made today, they're being made based on very small sample sizes in relation to the entire number of humans on the planet. I'm not saying those studies are small compared to the clinical trials that I ran. Of course, they're much bigger. But again, in relationship to the entire number of humans on the planet, those numbers are very small, actually. So where I'm going with that is you can imagine there must be a lot of error when you make recommendations based on the data that you do have. And if that data comes from a very limited sample size compared to the entire population, what happens to your error or your variance? It goes up. So the smaller your sample size is related to the entire population, the greater your error is or variance. And so I just don't think we're there yet. I mean, I think, for me, my worldview is that we know what most people need in terms of, again, I'm sorry to sound like a broken record, vitamins, minerals, other certain nutrients and phytonutrients. We can make so much progress for someone who's sick, someone who has, some form of brain health issue, somebody with type 2 diabetes, somebody with a heart disease issue. We can make so much progress with people with those issues with a fairly generic approach and then tweaking it here and there as we may. But I'm kind of in a wait and see mode when it comes to smart drugs.